The Knicks traded Willy Hernangomez today in a so-so trade, I guess. Let's talk about what that means. And there it is. What's up, folks? Peace out to y'all today. I tried to get on earlier, wanted to get on earlier, but I just couldn't make it happen. I had a lot going on today. But, so I just wanted to get on, talk about this a little bit. I'm not going to be on for super long. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this trade. So there you have it for immediate lease, straight from the Knicks. And you guys already know about it. But the Knicks acquired 2 second-round draft picks and Johnny O'Bryant from Charlotte. The New York Knicks announced today that the team has acquired 2 second-round draft selections, 2020 2021, and forward Johnny O'Bryant from Charlotte in exchange for sending Willy Hernangomez. Officially, they say, we thank Billy for all of his contributions to the New York Knicks organization and wish him the best moving forward. That's from Scott Perry, general manager of the New York Knicks. This trade adds valuable draft picks, better positioning this team as we build toward the future. What can we say, folks? What can we say? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who this guy, Johnny O'Bryant, is. And obviously he was waived. So he wasn't someone that the Knicks were actually coveting. We picked up 2 draft picks. We don't even know what number draft picks they are. I guess we won't know that until the future, right? We won't know that until 2020, 2021, what those draft picks actually are. Billy was actually a second-round draft pick that we purchased from Philadelphia a few years back. So we're hoping that one of these draft picks turns out to be better than Billy. We trade a second-round draft pick in hopes that we're going to get a second-round draft pick better than the second-round draft pick we traded. But we get 2 second-round draft picks. We also free up some cap because we waived Johnny O'Bryant. So that means we no longer have that salary cap this summer. But, Billy wasn't making that much money anyway. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't like he was making a boatload of money. So we didn't free up that much cap. I saw something about a trade exception possibly, but I'm not sure. I'll wait until that's confirmed before I actually talk about that, because I'm not sure if that's confirmed. But there it is. We traded Willy Hernangomez. We still have Kyle O'Quinn. I'm not sure what to think of it. What does it mean? That's what I want to know. What does this trade actually mean? We opened up a roster spot because we traded, because we waived Johnny O'Bryant. So we opened up a roster spot. So now we have 14 guaranteed contracts, which means it is possible that we could, Rudy 97, what's popping, bro? It does mean that we can fill in that roster spot with another player. That could happen via trade, meaning we do a 2-for-1 trade. We trade away, one player and bring back 2. We could bring up one of our guys from the G League, one of our 2-way contracts. So I guess we don't know what this trade means with Scott Perry's thought process going forward. We really won't know until something else happens. And if nothing happens at all, then maybe it's just a move for the future. But this is what I don't understand. If we don't end up packaging these 2 picks for either a first-round pick, packaging these picks to bring in another young player then if we don't end up doing that, packaging these picks somehow in another trade, then I don't understand why we didn't just try to develop Billy. What that says to me is that management really didn't like Billy. That's what it says to me. Because if you really, really valued what Billy could do, then you don't trade him for 2 second-round picks. He was on a team-friendly contract. You don't trade him for 2 second-round picks if you actually value what he can do. Unless there was some other things going on that we don't know about. So, that's my only explanation, is that maybe they have something else that they're working towards down the line. Like Scott Perry says, this trade adds valuable draft picks, better positioning this team as we build towards the future. That really doesn't say much, but it doesn't say that he's going to keep the draft picks. And it doesn't say he's going to trade the draft picks. It just says better positioning. But what it does say to me, I guess, maybe it does say something. What it does says to me is that these draft picks allow the team some flexibility. So, we'll have to see what happens. We'll see what goes on from there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What I did read, and I'm going to pull this up, and this was around about the same time that the trade was announced. And this is from Ian Begley. He says, opposing executives say the Knicks continue to take calls on center Carlo Quinn and guard Courtney Lee. New York is also still trying to trade Joakim Noah as well, which means the Knicks could be, there could be some moves that's still going on. Could be some moves that still happen. And the fact that they waived Johnny O'Brien opens up a roster spot, like I said earlier. And now there's some flexibility. You have some picks that you can play around with. I think you can still move those picks, I think. You got some picks you can play around with. You have a roster spot that you can play around with. So maybe this is a piece to another part of the puzzle. Who knows? I am kind of disappointed that Billy didn't get a chance to develop here. I would have liked to seen him develop. But obviously the Knicks management team didn't feel that Billy was they obviously didn't think he was worth developing. Didn't think he was worth developing. They must not have. If you traded him for 2 second-round picks, then you don't think he's worth developing. And you think that you can either get use those picks to get someone better, or you can get somebody better with those picks. It would have been nice if the pick was at least a 2018 pick. In a deep draft. So I hear. Like I said, I haven't really paid as much attention to it yet, but I will. If if it's such a deep draft, then it would have been nice to get a 2018 draft pick, but we didn't. So now here we are. We still have moves that we need to make. Maybe we're more flexible to make some moves. And I'm interested to see what happens the rest of tonight and into tomorrow. So what do I think about the trade? I don't know. I think I'm waiting to see what happens next. I'm not sure if we could have gotten anything more. I don't think we were going to get a first-round draft pick or a player that's worth a first-round draft pick for Billy, for the simple fact that he hasn't played. And when he has played, let's be honest with ourselves, when he has played, he didn't show us too much. There were times when he was out there and he looked like he couldn't play ball. Honestly, there were a couple of times he was out there where he didn't really look that good. You know, and there were a couple of times that he was out there where he looked decent. You know, he could rebound the ball, put up some decent numbers in limited minutes a few times. But then there were times when he just looked like he didn't belong in the league. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is now. You know, there's nothing we can really do about it. You know, there's nothing else that can happen. He's gone. He's now with Charlotte. And I'll be watching his development. You know, I'll be watching his development to see where he goes. And if he turns into a starting center in the league. Leroy Green, you say Billy expected to be the starting center and didn't bring it to training camp. It kind of showed to me he's not ready and was limited. His defense was even worse than Cantor. You know, that's one of the things that in the beginning of the season, I talked about that a little bit in the beginning of the season, that maybe Billy felt entitled. And that's one of the problems. You know, a lot of us call for, you know, Frank to start and other younger players to start. That's part of the problem when you just start a player just because they're supposed to be the future. They've got to earn their stripes. And I think maybe Billy did believe that's my spot. That's good. That's my position. And maybe he didn't bring the same ferocity that we thought he would. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he did feel entitled. And then he just never got it back. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But it does show that if a player does feel that way, if a player feels entitled and doesn't feel like he needs to put in the work, that you know, just playing someone just because or whatever can hurt their development, you know, from a mental aspect of the game. You know, but we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens with Billy. I do think that it might mean that there's more things that's coming within the next few hours or the next day or so. We got until 3 p.m. tomorrow. You know, maybe there's something else coming. And if it's not coming at the trade deadline, then during the draft, those draft picks can be used during the draft as well. You know, to maybe move up in the draft. It does give us something to play with. You know, gives us a few draft picks and some flexibility. Doesn't mean I'm crazy about the trade. But that's where we are. And that's where we are with it. You know. Famous, you say the only thing that sucks is that he was on a good contract and as a young player with some potential. I thought we could have got something better for him. I'm not, you know, I don't know. Maybe you could be right. Maybe we could have gotten something better for him. I think the problem is that this is the thing. When he was in the game, when he did play, he didn't show the same potential as last year. But in his defense, he didn't have too much of a chance to get into a rhythm either. But because he didn't perform as expected and didn't get the playing time, teams weren't going to give up much because now in their mind, they're like, well, maybe, you know, he didn't get much playing time on a team that's 9 games below 500. So what are we really going to give up for him? You know, so the Knicks didn't really have much bargaining power, you know, because of his lack of playing time and lack of playing time on a team that's, you know, 9 games below 500. They didn't have much bargaining power there. So if they were just strictly forced to trade him, I guess 2 second-round picks isn't bad, given the fact that he was a second-round pick himself. You know, I think he was picked 52nd, something like that, 54th or 52nd. You know, so to get 2 second-round picks for him, I guess is not horrible if he's someone that you're forced to trade. The facts are is that they wasn't forced to trade him. They could have decided we're going to move maybe Kylo Quinn or whatever and open up a spot for him to play. So it says to me that maybe they didn't think too much of him. So Famous, you say something better than 2 future second round picks. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to say, man, because teams are of course looking at his potential, but they also have to you have to look at the facts. And the facts are that he didn't get much playing time on a team that's below 500. You wasn't going to get a first round pick for him. I can guarantee you that he wasn't even a first round pick. You're not going to get a first round pick for him. Not unless he was. If they had played him, if they played him and he averaged a double-double, you get a first round pick for him. So the Knicks may have, see, then it's a double-edged sword. If you played him and he was averaging a double-double, you probably wouldn't have traded him. Unless you just really didn't like him and, he could get a double-double, but you didn't like him and you wanted to trade him. Then maybe you could have gotten a first round pick. But, the Knicks they didn't really have any bargaining power if they were going to trade him. I mean, if it were me, my decision would have been to keep him, trade Kyle Quinn, and give him a chance because he's on a team-friendly contract. He's not making a lot of money, relatively speaking. That would have been my decision, to open up room for him to play, especially now that Porzingis is gone for the season. I would have opened up room for him to play. That would have been my decision. But I can't say what's coming down the pike. I don't know. We don't know what other negotiations are going on with other teams. You know what I'm saying? And what? We don't know. We don't know. Sometimes one trade is a move in a piece to put together another trade. So I think we should maybe reserve judgment until we figure out what's going on. I would say let's reserve judgment until draft. You know what I'm saying? And see if they decide to do something during the draft. If they don't do anything at the trade deadline, maybe they decide to do something during the draft. I would say let's reserve judgment until then. Because, those 2 draft picks and an open roster spot at the trade deadline could bring you something. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying something that gets you over the top. I'm just saying some talent, Or during the draft, those draft picks could maybe help you move up in the draft. So, I think we need to reserve judgment. You know what I'm saying? I think we should reserve judgment on that. But now that he's gone, we have no bigs. Noah's not coming back to the team. And if you look at the injury report from the Knicks PR, Ron Baker, right shoulder surgery, is out. And as Cantor, oral surgery, is out. Kristaps Porzingis, torn left ACL, is out. Joakim Noah, personal reasons, is not with the team. That leaves Kyle Quinn to play center. And Kyle Quinn is an undersized center, right? That leaves Kyle Quinn to play center. Now, if Kyle Quinn is traded between today and tonight and tomorrow, that leaves us with no center. So then maybe we bring up, some of our guys from the G League. Who knows? But we could be left Thursday playing very, very small. And we, right, youth movement. We should be on that youth movement though. But we could be left Thursday playing very small. Kilo Savage, you say Noah's coming back. He has no trade value. Maybe, but I don't think the relationship between Jeff Hornacek and Joakim Noah is that good. So I'm not sure if he's going to be coming back, to tell you the truth. Maybe he does come back. Maybe so. If we trade Kyle Quinn, if Joakim Noah is getting some playing time, I guess that could patch up that relationship with with Jeff Hornacek real quick, right? Could patch it up real quick if he's going to get some playing time. So I guess we'll see what happens there. But right now, the injury report for the Toronto game does not have Joakim Noah with the team. It could change. Definitely could change. But we'll see. So we're in a funny little situation here with the Knicks. Funny situation, but we'll make it through. We'll make it through. I'm interested though to see what happens next. Where we go next. If that trade for Billy is actually a precursor to another trade. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm paying attention to. Yep, that's what I'm paying attention to. So what do you guys think, man? Where you guys at with it? I'm not going to take any calls right now because I'm only on for a short period. Just wanting to get on and talk about this trade a little bit. And if something happens, I'll probably jump on again. If something happens, but for right now, I just want to jump on and talk about it a little bit because I didn't get a chance to talk about it earlier. So, where your guys' mindset at? How you feeling? It's been a crazy couple of days for the Knicks, for the Knicks and for Knicks fans. KP goes down. Willy Hernangomez traded. And as Cantor is now out. It's been a crazy couple of days. I guess there's room for our two-way players to come up. The writing is clearly on the wall that it's time to just play the young guys. You know what I'm saying? Just play the young guys. Let's not play around. Let's not mess around with all these games trying to do this and do that. Let's just play the young guys. Let them work. Let them develop. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel, we'll see. You say next season is done also. We'll see. I think that's going to depend on Porzingis's how well Porzingis recovers. You know what I'm saying? How well he recovers. Those ACL tears can come in different severities. They're just going to, I guess they come in different grades. I haven't heard anything else about it. But, it is possible, that he's back next year. Some players heal quicker than others. People heal quicker than other people. This is, he's come back well before from injury. I guess, we'll see what's going to happen with him. So, next year is going to depend on, what happens with KP. You said no less than a year. That's what you think? You think no less than a year? We'll see. We'll see. I mean, you could be right. You could be right. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to really depend on the severity of it. And, we'll probably hear a little bit more as time goes on as to, how severe the tear really is. There could be, who knows? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure that I know there's different severities to it, but, if that's the case, then we stack assets. We stack assets, and 2020 is the year. We stack assets, save up that salary cap, use it wisely, or keep it on, only give short contracts, 1-year contracts. And then 2020, we got something to do. We'll have something to do. We'll have some business to take care of, depending on what free agents are available in 2020, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, if that's the case, we stack them assets. And all of our moves go towards stacking assets and collecting. I don't want to say collecting like it's property, but, you stack assets and bring in young players. That's what you do. If KP is going to be down, that's what you have to do. So I'm sure they'll be monitoring his development. Let me ask you guys this. KP usually trains with his brother. Do you think KP needs to, I don't know, I know his brother played professional basketball. I don't know if he's a certified trainer. I don't know what he does or anything like that. But do you think that KP needs to, get a trainer that's been training NBA players for years to train with him, to help him during his recovery and then train to help him get stronger? Do you think? I think he should. I'm in no position to judge his brother and, how good of a trainer his brother is. But I think that KP needs to work with some trainers that have trained NBA players and are experienced working with NBA players. Tamika, you're right. His brother got him this far. I agree. His brother got him this far. But just like coaches, sometimes coaches can get you so far, but they can't get you over the top. I don't know what his brother's resume is in regards to training. So, it's just a question, and I think that he should get someone like a Chris Brinkley. These guys are experienced in dealing with NBA players. In the NBA, you play more games than you play in the Euro leagues. The game is more aggressive. You take a much more of a pounding on your body because of the style of play. It's a different style of play, a more aggressive style of play. And I think that you need a trainer that's experienced and used to the NBA style. That's just my opinion. And I'm not to say, it's not to say that, it's not anything against European trainers, because you can have European trainers that are used to the NBA style and they do just as good. I'm just not sure his brother is used to training players that played in the NBA. I don't know of anyone else that he's trained besides KP. So I'd like to see KP get a trainer that's more experienced in working with NBA players. That would be, and if I'm KP, that would be where I go next. I'd go and get me an NBA caliber trainer. My brother would just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? My brother would have to deal with it and be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what families. That's what families. Hey, families got to deal with that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hopefully he comes back stronger. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he comes back stronger. And I think that's got to be the idea. That's got to be what's up here for him to come back better, come back stronger. Build his knees up, his back up, build those muscles around his knees, and come back stronger. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a quick listen. You guys may not want to, I don't blame you. But why don't we take a quick listen to Jeff Hornacek talk about KP's injury and Willy Hernangomez. Let's see what's going on here.
The heads come in a little bit lower, knowing that KP is out for the year. But we've talked about it. We have to continue on. Part of the process for us this year was trying to get better every game, try to work on things, and give our young guys some development time if possible. And we're not going to abandon any of that stuff and just finish out the season. We're going to continue to play hard. Other guys will have opportunities. They're going to have to step up, and we're going to continue to work and get better. And then when KP does come back next season, that we're a better group of guys.
What's your experience with an injury like this, as far as his process?
Well, I think always it's devastating in the beginning to find out that you're done for the year and you have to go through that process of rehab. But a lot of times it's how you approach it. And already we've seen KP's approach is, hey, I want to get this done as soon as I can so I can start rehabbing. And that's a great sign, because I think mentally he, even though he's hurt by it and devastated by it, he understands it. And he understands that the sooner he can get going with his rehab, the sooner he'll get back on the court.
Coach, what's the first thing you did when you found out his diagnosis?
I kind of knew that they were reviewing it with the doctors, and I can kind of see KP slump down a little bit. I said, "Ooh, that doesn't look like a good slump." So, it's tough, and talk to KP afterwards, and just tried to reassure him that it's a tough thing that he's going to go through, but he's going to bounce back as good as ever when he comes back. So I have total faith in, and you can see his will and his determination that yes, this is him out of basketball for a little bit, but he'll be back as good as ever.
Well, now Luke gets a chance to bring him up from the Westchester Knicks. Trey's been here. Obviously, this is why this league is there. And this gives these guys an opportunity.
Yeah, you never want an injury or a trade to happen to your teammates, but after the fact, it gives other guys opportunities. And Isaiah and Luke, might be able to get some opportunities here like Trey has, and Trey's made the most of it. So, Mike Miller and the coaches do a great job with the Westchester team, and when they come to us, they know the stuff and they can jump right in. So, we'll see with those guys.
You were able to get 2 number 2s for Willy. Just your reaction of him being traded?
Yeah, we all love Billy. He's a great kid. He worked hard all the time. He's very professional through this process, and knowing that we had a lot of centers, and going into every season it's a competition, and that KO kind of earned it, and he was just waiting for his opportunity. Unfortunately, we weren't able to give that to him, but now maybe he's got a chance at some minutes and playing with Charlotte.
And there you have it. There we have it, folks. That's, I guess we didn't hear too much from him. Didn't hear too much from him. It does sound like maybe Isaiah Hicks and Cornet will get a chance to come up and play. Obviously, we have a roster spot open now, and if it's not filled, they should get the chance to come up and play. Hopefully they do. I haven't really had a chance to see him play. I'm excited to see him play.
The heads come in a little bit lower, knowing that KP is.
Sorry about that. I'm excited to see him play. I'd like to see him play. I guess all we can do is wait and see what happens from here. All we can do is wait and see what happens from here. But listen, guys, I just want to jump on real fast and talk about the trades. Talk about, the trades, the trade. And if there's another trade, then I will. You seen him, Tamika, you said you've seen them practicing with the Knicks. Good. Hopefully they get a chance to come out and play. But I want to jump on and talk about the trade. If there's another trade that happens tonight, I'll jump back on. If anything happens tomorrow, I can't promise that I'll be able to jump on if anything happens tomorrow, because I'll be in a couple of hearings. But if anything happens before I go into the hearing, I might jump in real quick just to say what's up and talk about it a little bit. But other than that, guys, I'm going to head out for the night because I got to prepare a few more things for tomorrow. Like I said, this was going to be quick. I just wanted to jump on and talk about it. If anything happens, I'll be back. I want y'all to take easy. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it tonight because I got to roll, man. I got to roll tonight. Sorry, who's Mark. If I'm on later, if something happens and I jump on later, I'll make sure I get you in. All right. I'll make sure I get you in if I'm on later. I don't want to open up the line so everyone's calling in, you know, because I gotta rock. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all for checking in, and I will get back at you if something goes on. All right? Peace. Thank you for checking out the live stream. We'll definitely be on tomorrow night after the Toronto game. If there's any other trades or anything that goes down tonight, I'll be back on. But until then, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. You'll know anytime I go live. Check out these videos over here. Peace.